Yes, it is. But he isn't here. I don't know. What name? Hadeker. All right, Mr. Hadeker. Yes, this is Mr. Kettle's flat. No, he isn't. He's at the bank. You are the bank? Well, I could leave him a note. Mr. Kettle? What's the matter? Have you been taken back?
No, I've been taken good.
But didn't you go to the bank the same as usual?
No, I'm going to change these clothes.
Why, Mr. Kettle?
Because I don't like them.
But what about the bank? You'll have to let them know, won't you?
No. No, take the receiver off and put it down.
What is this, sir?
A shooting game.
A shooting game? Really? I'm surprised at you, Mr. Kettle. Where would we be if everybody started behaving like that?
I don't know, but where are we now? Good morning, Mrs. Twig.
Good morning, Mr. Kettle.
Ma! Mr. Kettle?
You are Mrs. Twig's daughter?
That's right, Monica. Isn't my mother here?
No, you've just missed her.
Aren't you supposed to be at the bank all day?
Yes, but this morning I'm a big game hunting instead. But what about you?
I've just got the bush again, right at the beginning of the week.
Aren't you always changing jobs?
That's right. I'll bet my mother's told you that. Trust her. She gets right fed up with me. How do you do this?
I'll show you. Now you have a dry. But what do you want to do, Monica?
I'd like to be a model. On television or film star. I want to have my photo taken at a nightclub, wearing a backless evening gown, holding a glass of champagne wine. Miss Monica Twig, seen at the Café de Paris. Somebody at the door.
Don't help me.
Aren't you going to answer it?
If anybody really wants to see me, he must look in.
What happened? They told me at the bank you must be ill.
Well, I am not.
What on earth are you doing?
I'm playing the jungle shooting game with Monica Twig. Miss Monica Twig, Odaman Hadeika and Henry Hadeika.
Hadeika stores.
I wouldn't speak to a world with a girl like you.
And if you have any sense, Kettle, more in your position.
Bye-bye, Mr. Kettle.
Bye-bye, Monica.
Now look here, Kettle. Let's go to business. What about my extension loan?
We come in the bank and they say you must be ill.
And you're not ill.
And I never said I was. I'll try to explain. I woke up as usual time, stopped for a bank as usual, and suddenly a voice spoke to me.
I see. A voice spoke to you. Can you stop this nonsense and listen me for a minute?
For the last 3 years, I've been tormented by a desire to throw something on you. And now, unless you clear out at once, I'm going to do it.
I'm going. But we came here to discuss important bank business.
Very well, we're going to ring up your head office.
Mr. Kettle! Mr. Kettle!
Hello, Superintendent.
I rang and knocked, but I couldn't make you hear. I called at the bank and they said I might find you here. Of color, are you?
I'm on color.
What?
I'm fine, superintendent. How are you?
Busy. So, I'll come to the point. You remember, you wrote us about our parking regulations at your bank corner for the convenience of your customers. Remember?
I'll be frank with you. I don't care.
You don't care?
Just a surprise. O ranem all for parking there, or ranem all for park there. I said I heard a voice, and the voice said, "Why, George? What is it all for? And how long is going on?"
Then, wouldn't you object doing me a small favor? Just promise me you won't go out until you see me again. What do you say?
I can't admit, you know.
Bless my heart and soul, Mr. Kettle. You're as sane as I am. Your door, isn't it? Mrs. Henry moved. She had been to the bank and they told her to try here. She is the chairman of some fund committee. She'd come and her postcard. Well, I'm off till I get back.
But why should a call severe woman choose the right brace for the car? Something wrong. Henry Moon? This is Josh Kettle. It's about the response car that Miss Moon drives. Oh, damn impudence? I don't know. By the way, fascinating name. Perhaps that's why she married you. Hello, Miss Moon.
Good morning, Mr. Kettle. I did ring and knock.
Too much noise there. Yes.
You look quite different in these clothes. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to join in this dance from Priestley. It's very difficult to walk both the big drum, the call scuttle, and the cymbals.
It needs
It
two
needs
people.
two people, yes.
Oh, might be.
I'm appealing now to the bit of you that choose the response car.
I see. I went to the bank and they said to me you were probably ill. But you don't seem to me ill, drunk or dirty.
I'm not ill. By the way, I rang your husband just now about the response car. I had to know whether did she give it to her or did you choose it yourself?
I'll bet he was furious, but why do you want to know, Mr. Kettle?
Quite unlike my idea of you.
I see. And that's why you risk asking me to bang a coal scuttle for you? You won't be happy until you hear what it sounds like, will you?
Not at all. I'm very glad I wondered about the response car. Thank you very much, Miss Moon. I think I wanted to do that for years.
Well, I went to the bank to ask you about the infirmary wireless fund. Are you interested?
No, I'm no longer a bank manager, there I was. And a voice said, "Why, George? What is it all for? And how long is going on?"
But what are you going to do now?
I'm just going to be not a bank manager where I was. I'm sorry in a way, Mrs. Moon. And I was thinking, what it would be like to take care for those pretexts of your ruffle your hair and make love to you.
Well, does something like that go on in your mind with most women you met?
No, chiefly with you.
Well, do you think you're the only person in this brood of town who can stop pretending?
I'm hoping I'm not.
Not that you are going to take off these damn spectacles of mine, ruffle my hair, change my suitable clothes, but I am. Now, where's the bedroom?
Here. This is London at North Midland Bank. This is it's very urgent. Yes, this is London at North Midland Bank. It's not about your extension loan, Hodeka. It's about life. We think we would like to know that we think it's wonderful. Good morning.
Well, is this what you imagined?
No, this is much better. Creaky, woman, what a transformation. But tell me, which is you? This one or other one?
I don't know. Both, probably.
You are very beautiful. Now I want anything you want.
Oh, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
And I wouldn't know who you are.
Monica Twig. My mother looks after...
Yes, he told me.
Where is Mr. Kettle?
He's asleep.
He's not ill, is he?
No, I'd say he's in the best of health. Sort of a career girl, aren't you, Monica?
Though I can't make up my mind if I ought to go in for being a model on films, television.
You're much too young. If I were you, I wouldn't bother about running a career. It's much more fun just being a nobody.
He's at the front door. It is Mr. Moon, and he says his wife is here.
There.
Henry?
Well, I'll say good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Moon.
Well, I guess you're here because I saw your car outside. I came to help with Kettle. Is he here?
Yes, in his bedroom.
Take queer?
No, just asleep.
Asleep? That's a bit much, isn't it?
He felt sleepy after lunch. He gave a nudge here, you know. Why have you called to see him?
Well, today in the morning Kettle called me. It turned out to be some damn silly question about you and your car. Sound fishy to me. Some queer tales go around there. How did he strike you?
He seemed to me fairly sober and quite sane, Henry.
Well, today in the morning when Kettle rang me, he said that perhaps Moon was a fascinating name, and that's why he'd married me.
Did he? How sweet.
Sweet? What's sweet about it? Well, Dad, now I'm going to put a straight question to you, and I want to hear a straight, truthful answers. Are you playing the game, Dad?
Do you mean, am I being unfaithful to you, Henry?
Well, for instance, your car out there, isn't it? And no one could miss it. Even after a hard day work. You can't call that playing the game, not in town like this.
Hello, Moon.
Hello, Castle.
Did he have a nice sleep?
Wonderful.
I hope he didn't wake you.
And I must say, that's a bit much. Did he have a nice sleep? I hope he didn't wake him. Who's he anyhow? The Shah of Persia? Well, Now I'm going to put a straight question to you.
Henry's putting straight questions this afternoon.
I suggest you to try what I've tried. And what I've tried is to play the game.
I overheard you talking about that. Which game? You know I bought a jungle shooting game.
I'm talking about different things. I hope the others try to do what I've always been trying to do in spite of temptation.
Really, Henry? And you never told me.
Well, several times me and Mrs. Carson have to spend the night away from Brixmore. On important business, of course. And what happened?
Yes, what has happened, Henry?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Even after a hard day working together, we've been only truly good pals. If Delia played the game with me, I was ready to play the game with her.
If she sticks to her guns, you would stick to your guns.
Absolutely. Well, I must run. I have an important appointment at 4, a very big deal. If it comes off, you going home, Delia?
Not yet, Henry.
Talk things over. Quite right. Well, I must run.
Is that Moon and Francis? Oh, I want to speak to Miss Carson, please. Mrs. Carson, this is a friend, a well-wisher. Henry Moon is crazy about you. All the best, Miss Carson.
Why this thing?
The band gave every manager one some time ago when the crime wave started.
I could use it. My father told me.
Give it to me, my pet. Well, Delia, let's talk about ourselves. When do we go? Tonight?
Go? Where?
I don't know. Anywhere. Just go. I don't imagine I'm staying on here. I finished with the band and with all that sort of life.
We're not children, George. Nobody's going to take care of us.
Do we go together or do I go alone? Because I'm not staying here.
Which means that I haven't enough to keep.
Back again, you see, like promised.
Go away!
I'm not going away until I've said what I've come to say. There's nobody at the bank of yours understands about my extension loan.
I'm in the most important, in the most urgent argument I ever had in my life. Go away!
I'm going. But you haven't finished with me yet. I know it was you that drank me on this morning, telling me life's wonderful.
Sorry about that, Mr. Kettle, but I should be there. You see, I arranged to meet Mr. Clinton here.
Ah, Superintendent, we meet again.
We do, Mr. Clinton. And what about your medical friend?
He'll be in our disposal in about quarter of hour or so.
What are you proposing to do? Take my temperature.
Just whatever you'd like us to do, Mr. Kettle. Hello, Mrs. Kettle.
I'm not Mrs. Kettle.
Mr. Clinton, Mrs. Moon.
How do you do?
How do you do? I must go in a minute.
Kettle, you have long training at the bank, long experience. You are valuable to us. We need you, my dear fellow.
The bank needs me, but do I need the bank? I've had enough.
And so have I. But I need to think. Don't take this off again. I'll ring you up.
You know, I believe one of two things happens with men of my age. Either they die inside, or they live in a fashion by turning into large grey rats.
Which are we, by the way, walking gentlemen or large grey rats?
I think you are rats.
I think some men need more money than they're entitled to spend on travel, food, and drink.
I was quite right. Large grey rats.
A clothes for another man's wife. I noticed she took a dress in there. New and very saucy.
Oh, shut up! You damn it, Lord!
Worked out nicely, didn't it? You are a witness. I had to hit him in self-defense. Didn't I, Mr. Clinton?
You did. If Dr. Green could do anything with him now.
I say, Mr. Kettle, here, what's going on?
You, keep out of this.
I believe you knocked him out.
Self-defense! Pop off! Go! Oh, is it Mrs. Henry Moon? Superintendent Street here? No, I can't give you Mr. Kettle. He's out.
He's not out. He's knocked out. He's unconscious.
What's your name?
Monica Twig.
Well, Monica Twig, you obstructed a police officer in the course of his duty, and now you're under arrest.
Shall I have my photo in the paper?
You might.
Goody, goody, goody.
How do you like scrubbing floors?
I don't.
Well, that's what you'll be doing soon.
Superintendent Street, Dr. Green.
How do you do? Excuse me for a moment. Seems in a good physical condition, fortunately. Who's this?
Don't bother about her. Under arrest for trying to obstruct a police officer.
It'll say in the paper, pretty girl fights police.
You! Shut up! Is he alright like this for you, doctor?
If I treat him just when he's coming round, a minor form of dissociated personality, you wouldn't say he was inadequate, would you?
No. He said he heard a voice asking him what it was all for.
A voice? Yes. The usual thing. A little quick, neat hypnosis will do all that's necessary. Let's put him on his bed, shall we?
Monica, what are you doing here? I do beg your pardon, sir, but this is my daughter, and I can't think what she's doing here.
I'm under arrest.
Under arrest? My goodness me, whatever have you done this time?
How do you mean this time? I've never been arrested before. I might have my photo in the paper.
But where is Mr. Kettle?
In his bedroom, the doctor with him.
What did I tell you, Monica Twig? Didn't I say he was poorly?
Go on. That superintendent knocked him out. And they're giving him, hypnotism, like I've seen in the pictures.
Oh, now we are talking, aren't we? Haven't left school 5 minutes and sitting there, bored as brass.
I left school 3 years since.
Don't take any notice of her, superintendent. She doesn't know what she's saying.
Well, Mrs. Twig, you're in the way now. And take the daughter of yours with you.
Do you mean I'm not under arrest?
Not this time.
Why? You don't know your own mind 2 minutes together.
Outside! Well, I left the doctor to get on with it. Smart chap, I'd say. I have an idea, he'll pull it off.
Then I'll be very grateful for the help you've given, Superintendent.
Don't mention it. Been a pleasure. Yes, Alderman Hadeka, Superintendent Street here. Yes, Mr. Clinton is still here. Well, come out and see for yourself. No, that can't be him. Even Hadeka couldn't do it.
How are you, Superintendent?
Hello, Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon, one of our leading estate agents. Mr. Clinton, the district head of the London and North Midlands Bank.
Great pleasure, Mr. Clinton. Come to take charge. Quite right. By the way, my wife isn't here, is she?
She was here, then went. If you want to see her, you'd better wait.
Wonderful. I have Boone to pick up with Kettle. Is he here?
You'll have to wait. The doctor is speaking with him just now. And while we are talking between ourselves, I think if I were you, I wouldn't let Mrs. Moon stay here very long.
I quite agree, Mr. Moon.
You do? Do you take it from line, I think?
That's my advice. Unofficially, of course, as a friend. Just put your foot down, Mr. Moon.
Where is he?
In the bedroom. The doctor's with him.
You heard him. I'll go and see.
Delia!
Superintendent! I assure you, madam, that I can't possibly allow you to disturb me like that.
Delia, you ought to go home.
Don't be silly, Henry. Now tell me what happened and no lies, please.
I don't tell lies, Mrs. Moon.
You told me he'd gone out.
Not gone out. I said he was out. I had to knock him out.
Why?
He attacked us, even called us large grey rats.
Good Lord, I must say.
Don't say anything, Henry. Leave this to me. Perhaps you were behaving like large grey rats. Where was the doctor? Where all this happened?
He has specialists we employ. Really, I can't see any concern of yours. I'm here on a bank business.
I'm here on personal business, much more important.
Mr. Moon, if you can't make her go, at least make her keep quiet.
Hello, Mr. Clinton. I am Alderman Haneke. I nearly took it up with your head office.
Let it take action at once.
I quite really didn't.
You understand how I'm fixing this big loan from extension?
Do you know how much money at stake with this extension?
No, but I've been wondering. Tell me.
I'm not going to tell you, Moon. And what you're doing here, I can imagine. If she were my wife,
I can think of 50 replies to that. Oh, very rude. Now stop shouting.
I'm not shouting, and anyhow, I haven't taken orders from you. But just listen what I've said.
If we don't see Kettle in the next half hour and get some attention from him, an apology, the fat will be in the fire.
Hadeka, the old man, but all the same.
Don't you start, Moon. If you can't even stop her wearing the trousers.
Trousers? Who's talking about the trousers?
Gentlemen, please, I would like your attention before Mr. Kettle joins us. He's dressing and will be with us in a minute. For his own good, I had to help him to suppress the secondary self and restore the primary.
How do you know the real George Kettle?
Well, Mr. Kettle, feeling all right now? Very different from what you did when you first came round.
Doctor, when I remember, I can't think what had taken possession of me. It was awful. I could hear myself saying the most shocking things. That cunning old busybody Superintendent Street I was saying. That stuffed shot Clinton from the district head office. That idiot Henry Moon I was saying. That miserable old skinflint Hadeka.
No, please. It may be necessary for him to explain.
Then it's my turn. What were you saying to yourself about me?
Oh, well, Mrs. Moon, I don't know what I was saying. Excuse me, Mrs. Moon. Oh, Mr. Clinton.
Nice to see you, Mr. Kettle. I'm come here and I couldn't leave without saying hello.
Thank you, Mr. Clinton. Oh, Alderman Hadeka, you should be worried about the extension loan, aren't you?
Of course I am, Kettle. Spend all day worrying about it.
I can assure Alderman Hadeka, you put to so much trouble. You can depend on me.
Oh my God!
Mrs. Moon, I suppose you are worried about the infirmary wireless fund account?
No, I'm not. I worried about you.
Well, I'm off.
Glad you come to your sense, Kettle.
Superintendent, you remember I wrote to you about the parking regulations to our bank corner.
Well, I came round to see you about it this morning, but I don't know if the doctor wants us to talk about it just now.
Quite right. Don't rush things. So I know how keen you are.
I'm glad to hear it, and I'd like to say this before you go, Mr. Clinton. North, Midlands and London isn't something that pays me money. I like to feel with my friends.
It is, Kettle. It is. Well, good night, Mr. Kettle.
Good night, Mr. Clinton. Daddy, you're going home?
No yet, Henry, but you go.
Good night.
Kettle, goodbye.
Mrs. Moon, aren't you going with your husband?
I'm staying here.
Now, Mr. Kettle, I want you to follow my instructions very carefully.
Yes, and if you continue, that can be even more dangerous.
How dare you! Put down that revolver at once.
Sit down! I'd almost enjoy shooting you. You miserable little person. For years, I waited to love and be loved. And today, it happened. We found each other, but then I did as you covered the sin. He asked me to go away with him, but I refused. When I came back ready to go with him, you got hold of him. When he was half conscious and mesmerized into him misery again, he was awake, and you wanted him sleeping walking again.
Mr. Kettle, I appeal to you as a decent, law-abiding citizen.
Do whatever you ought to do to free completely.
Very well, but first you must realize what you are wanting me to do. What you will have is an antisocial, childish, irresponsible type, incapable of playing a proper part in the modern social order.
I know.
And you'll probably be as bad as he is.
I do hope so. It's your last chance. 1, 2...
Stop! Stop! I'll try. Mr. Kettle, look at me, please.
Oh, Doctor, I'm tired of looking at you.
George?
Oh, Daddy. Well, Daddy, you see what it would be if I stay in here. Now, when do we go?
Now, tonight. But I'd made up my mind before, and I not to tell you.
But what about the treatment I gave you?
My dear chap, you couldn't hypnotize the rabbit. By the way, the revolver isn't allowed yet. Well, Doctor, I think we don't need to keep you. Goodbye.
Good day to you.
Goodbye. We'll go off in my car. I packed 2 bags and they're in the car. I could pack in for you while change clothes.
Oh, of course, I'm wearing these dumb things. All right, but thank you very much. But we are going. And remember me to Monica.
You can remember yourself to Monica. Did I hear you say you were going?
Yes, as soon as we've packed a few things.
If you two are going, so am I. And you can give me a lift. Mrs. Moon, how about me being a personal maid for a week or 2?
No, Monica, but we can drop you at my sister's. Your husband, a television producer.
Hurry up, let's get going.
Well, there is one thing. It stopped raining. I say, it stopped raining.